It is Open Line Hour, and Vivian Wilhoit is our guest. She is the property assessor here in Davidson County. Ms. Wilhoit, thank you for joining us. We've had lots of calls, and your call center is now open as the reappraisals start to go out across the county. I know you'll be busy. People will have the chance to file an appeal. What do they need to bring to that appeal? What kind of information can they arm themselves with?
Yes, that's a very good answer, a very good question. You know, when you file an informal review, as I stated before, the easiest way to file an informal review is online. And they're at padctn.org. On our website, you can get some comparable sales. You want to go through the process when you choose your property, and there's instructions there to help you file the informal review. So we want to we've made it very easy. Once you choose the property that you are filing the appeal, which will be the subject property, then you begin to select some comparables that have sold recently. And they're right there. You can also do some things such as taking away and selecting certain amenities of the comparable. So ensure that you are comparing a home or a property similar to yours. And you can upload those fairly easily into the informal review segment that we've set aside, and we'll receive that. We'll also ask you, what do you think that your home should be valued? What is the value that you think that it should be? And we'll take a look at that. That's also an opportunity to share with us information about your home, whether there's been a fire in your home that we don't know anything about, in reference to the fact you have leaks somewhere that you've been unable to repair, and it's causing your home to be very difficult to be habitable. That's the type of information we want to hear from you. So we look at those things, and we'll get that information. We'll get the result of a decision by June the 11th. I'm sorry, by June the 11th to you, so that you'll still have an opportunity to file an appeal with the Metro Board of Equalization.
And this is very important for people who have dealt with the recent flooding, but also there are so many people who have not been able to repair their homes because of the tornadoes, even a year plus later.
Yes. Well, you know, the state law requires us to take a look at certain properties that are damaged by a certain time of the year. And the reason for that is because, Carrie, we've got to cut it off so that we can provide the tax roll to the trustees so they can, and then of course, then when the tax rate comes down from the metro, from the mayor and the metro council, then that has to be applied. We have to do a cutoff at some point. So when you think about some of all of these catastrophes, unfortunately, and I pray for those families that have gone through it, and I hope that they're on their way to a better day as we speak. But when you think about those damages, many of them occurred right before 1/1 of this year. And you think about Second Avenue, you think about the tornado in North Nashville, you think about the floods that occurred. We have already obtained a list of those properties that no longer exist as a result of the major damage to the property. And we've obtained properties that are just slightly damaged in reference to what is their status. And we've already incorporated that into our information regarding setting up and providing value. We also use in our toolbox TCA code, Tennessee Code annotated 675603 and 675606, one of which that says each year by September the 1st, if there's been some type of damage to the property, then if the property is uninhabitable, or if it is not operative, is a business, what have you, and that is done by September 1, we have the authority and the obligation to adjust that value. And that's the same authority we have if you didn't own the property, and it's in reference to your personalties. We have the authority to adjust the personalty assessed value as well. So we have a lot of things which we're governed by that we must apply, but there are good rules in reference to helping us to be able to help the homeowner and the business owner.
All right, let's get to Cynthia on the line. She's called in. Hi, Cynthia, go ahead.
Yes, my question is related to comparables. I think Ms. Wilhoit said to compare houses that have sold around us. I would like some input on in my subdivision, most of the homes that have sold have not sold to individuals, but have sold to corporations. and these corporations are paying well above market value for these properties. So how does a person like me appeal? Because when I do my comparables, they are going to be very high because it's been the Wall Street companies that have paid for that. So kind of give us some feedback on how we address that.
That is a great question. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you, Cynthia, for your question. That is an excellent question. And I too live in a homeowners association, and I've been approached with contacting my lawmaker in reference to companies buying homes in our neighborhood. So I understand exactly what you're saying. Now, we don't necessarily look at the homeowner, but I will say that as we receive every sale that is put on our website for realtors or whomever that use them as comparables for the sales approach, we qualify the sale to ensure there is a arm's length type sale. And we take a look at where that sale came from, and we only use qualified sales. So that's what I can really give the answer to in reference to that type of sale. One of the things you want to also make sure of is that you use a sale that is comparable to your own home. So yes, there are people who are buying up properties left and right. State government, I do believe the law passed in order to allow them to do this, to buy these homes and various properties by corporations. But we are going to look at the sales and try to ensure that we use qualified sales in our sales approach to value. There's two other approaches that we utilize in our approach to value. That's the cost approach and the income approach. But on the most part, when it comes to residential, it is the sales approach to value.
Okay, let's take a quick break. We're going to wrap it up when we come back.